Hello guys, FurballTheHammy, your friendly neighborhood hamster, is back again for another Hypixel Skyblock video. Today's video will be very calculation heavy because it will be recalculating the profits for slayers since the max magic find has been recently changed and the prices of items have also changed. Thus, I have decided to redo this video once again. I have done this video around 2 months ago and I wanted to update it once again. However, before I move on, be sure to smash the subscribe button down below because videos like these do take a while to prepare and script due to the sheer amount of calculations. Also, because at 15,000 subscribers, I will be doing a 1,000 tier 4 Svens. So without further ado, let's get on to the video. Firstly, drop rates. I will only be doing math for tier 4 and tier 3 Sven and Terras because Revenants are statistically not profitable unless you count tier 2s, but I'm not here to talk about tier 2s, they are really slow for Slayer XP. So, the drop rates are as follows. Assuming you kill 3 mini bosses per summon, for tier 3s you get around 30 plus 12 or 42 token drops. For tier 4s you get around 60 plus 15 or 75 token drops. Toxic Arrow Poison and Hamster Whales have a 15% drop rate. Magic Find does not affect Toxic Arrow Poison and Hamster Whales. If you want to know why, check out my video link in the description. Level 6 books have a 1% drop rate and with Max Magic Find it becomes 2.37%. Couture, Rune and Fly Swatters have a base drop chance of 0.45%, but with Max Magic Find it becomes 1.0655%. Red Claw Egg and Tarantula Talisman have a 0.1518% base drop, and with Max Magic Find it becomes 0.360%. Digested Mosquito and Grizzly Baits have a 0.05% base drop chance, and with Max Magic Find it becomes 0.1185%. And last but not least, for the Overflux Capacitor, it has a base drop chance of 0.03%, and with Max Magic Find it becomes 0.0711%. I will be doing this test a bit differently to increase accuracy because I will be calculating the theoretical profit per boss on average. Bear in mind that you don't profit every single boss. You will most likely lose money on the majority of bosses and profit when you get RNG drops. The average profit per boss here is an average, including both losses and gains. Thing is with Slayers, you tend to always lose a bit after every single boss, but when you do profit and get an RNG drop, you will profit a lot. So this makes the average skewed. However, the average profit per boss should be applicable if you do 1,000 Slayer bosses or 2,000 Slayer bosses or any extreme amount of Slayer bosses, because the average does get more accurate the larger the sample size you have. So don't knock on my door and say I did 10 bosses but I didn't profit. This is a mere average which includes the highest and the lowest points and finding the average in between. So now moving on to the profits, it will be calculated with 137% magic find or the max magic find you can get in the game. For tier 4 Sven, it is 75 times 110 plus 4 times 20,000 times 0.15 plus 300k times 0.0237 plus 200k times 0.0107 plus 350k times 0.00360 plus 800k times 0.00185 plus 45 million times 0.000711, which will give you 64,235 coins. This means that the profit per boss from a tier 4 Sven is 64,235 minus 50k, which is 14,235 coins per boss. For tier 4 Terras, it will be 75 times 3 plus 124,000 times 0.15 plus 20k times 0.0237 plus 20k times 0.0237 again plus 500k times 0.0107 plus 5 mil times 0.00360 and plus 10 mil times 0.00185, which will give you 61,623 coins. This means that the profit is 61,623 minus 50k, which is 11,623 coins per boss. For tier 3 Sven, it is 42 times 110 plus 3 times 20k times 0.15 plus 300k times 0.0237 plus 350k times 0.00360, which is 21,990 coins, which means that your theoretical profit per boss for tier 3 Sven is 21,999 minus 10k, which is 11,990 coins per boss. For tier 3 Terras, it will be 42 times 3 plus 56,000 times 0.15 plus 20k times 0.0237 plus 20k times 0.0237 again plus 500k times 0.0107 and plus 5 mil times 0.00360, which will give you 32,824 coins. This makes the total profit 32,824 minus 10k, which is 22,824 coins. This means that tier 3 Tarantulas is the most profitable for money per boss. However, tier 3 Tarantulas is also the fastest boss to grind out of the 4 bosses up for testing here. However, let me give you guys a precaution. I do not know whether the RNG drop rates for tier 3 Tarantulas is the same as tier 4s. I have personally done 7,500 tier 3 Tarantulas in my life, and from my personal point of view, I don't see a difference in Swatter or Tarantula talisman drops for tier 3 and tier 4. However, since it isn't officially mentioned that they have the same drop rates, here is just a warning. Now, if you want to farm Slayer XP but also want to profit from it, the question is tier 4 Terras or tier 4 Svens? Well, you may be thinking that. However, before I end off this video, let me just say that it is once again a mere average. The average only becomes more accurate the more bosses you do. RNG and probability is mere math. If you are looking at how many bosses you may need to do to reach that level of consistency, where RNG is almost a certain science, we are talking about 3,000 tier 4 or tier 3 bosses. This is the general problem with Slayers. It is profitable, but if you want to make it profitable without being quote-unquote lucky, you have to do so many bosses that an average player certainly cannot invest in. 3,000 tier 4 bosses in context is 150 million coins, and the time taken for 3,000 tier 4 bosses can easily be 3,000 minutes for an endgame player like me, which for an endgame player is almost 50 hours in Slayers, just to yield a guaranteed profit. If you are not an endgame player, it would easily take more than 3,000 minutes. So yeah, if you do intend to dive in the world of Slayers, let me give you a word of advice. Slayers is still profitable, but on the other hand, there are a lot more things that are more profitable than it. So I recommend you to do Slayers without having money as the primary goal, but rather doing Slayers to make money as a secondary goal. However, if you are not Slayer level 7 yet, I still recommend you to do Slayers because the talismans are necessary for endgame purposes, and things like the Mana Flux and the Overflux power orbs are still good things to have. So yeah, with that, I guess the Slayer boss a day keeps the /G kit command away, and this is FurballTheHammy, your Slayer maniac, signing out.